Hello, everybody. I'm Jackie K. Cooper here with
Walker the Intern.
And it's Tell All Tuesday, and this is Tell All about Oscar Day.
Yes, it is.
Now, the Oscars are still a few days away, March 10th.
Yes.
Yes. So you've got some time, but we're going on record and saying this is who we think will win in the top 6 categories.
Yes.
And I know you've given this a lot of thought.
I did. A lot. Too much.
Because once it's out there, then you can't say, oh no, I changed my mind.
I know. Yeah.
It's March 9th and I changed my mind. This is, you are there saying this. So, I wonder if we're going to have any differences. You and I haven't talked about our choices yet.
We haven't, no.
So, we'll see. But I'm going to start off with Best Actor
Okay.
in a leading role. And we have Bradley Cooper in Maestro, Coleman Domingo in Rustin, Paul Giamatti in The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright in American Fiction. And I will say, if I had my way, Paul Giamatti would take it.
And if he gets it, I wouldn't be mad at all.
I'm going to be so happy.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
But I don't think he's going to get it.
Yeah.
I think it's Cillian Murphy.
I agree.
And Oppenheimer, if it's done one thing, is taught the world how to pronounce Cillia. Because I was Cillian Murphy for a long time. When he was doing the Batman movies, I was like, and Cillian Murphy was in there, and then Oppenheimer came along, and everybody, learned to pronounce Cillian. But I want to say this, Paul Giamatti in The Holdovers, that's just another great role for him. And I think there'll be other roles that he will excel in. He's just a multifaceted actor. Oppenheimer was the role of a lifetime for Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
It was like he was put on this earth to grow up to the right age
To be
Oppenheimer. Yes. So you don't have like any leanings toward. I thought for sure you were going to say Bradley Cooper, fake nose and all.
No, I would not.
No. So we're agreed on this one.
Yes.
No, well, I don't know. Who would your preference be to win? Would you prefer that if you had, or would you prefer Cillian?
I would prefer Cillian. He deserves
You're
it.
an Oppenheimer.
I'm an Oppenheimer stan.
Yeah. I know you've got your Barbie
I
shirt
do have my
on.
Barbie shirt on. I was repping today for Barbie.
Yeah.
It didn't get much love at the Oscars, so I thought I should give it some love tonight.
It didn't. Okay, so you're Cillian. You think it'll be Cillian. You glad it's Cillian.
Yes.
I think it'll be Cillian, but I wish it was going to be Paul. All right.
What's next?
Best actress in a leading role.
Okay. This is probably the most divisive one.
The person who is number one on the nominations, I'm sure sent you a text this morning saying, I am so glad you watched my movie.
She did. She sent me a lovely message. She called me.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm so glad you finished
Was Warren
it.
in the background?
Yes.
Warren Beatty.
Yeah.
She's married to Warren Beatty.
I knew that.
You did.
I knew that.
All right, Annette Bening, who it took Walker 4 months to watch Naiad, left the poor woman swimming in the mid-Atlantic trying to go from Cuba to Florida. Annette Bening for Naiad, Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Huller for Anatomy of a Fall, Carey Mulligan for Maestro, and Emma Stone for Poor Things. Now, who do you want to win?
Who do I want to win? I want Lily Gladstone to win.
Who do you think will win?
I think Emma Stone will win.
We got to come up with some different stuff here, Walker.
Did you say the same thing?
I said the same thing.
I thought I was going to be like,
no,
I thought I was going to mix it up.
Let me tell you, Lily Gladstone, to me, is the glue that holds Killers of the Flower Moon together. I don't care that she's the first Native American person to be nominated. Her talent, that's a nice tag along with it. But she is the glue that holds that movie together. Everything, even though she's not on screen that much, everything centers around her, and I thought she was great. I would love to see her win. But why do you think Emma's going to win? Which I do too.
I think over the past month or so, it just seems like the Best Actress race has become the Emma Stone race. And it's just, can you beat Emma Stone? It was leaning towards Lily Gladstone at first.
It did. And didn't Lily Gladstone win the BAFTA?
No, Emma Stone did.
Emma Stone did?
Yeah.
That's the British film.
Now, she might have won because she was playing a British person. Like, they usually will recognize the British people of...
Was she really playing a British person?
Mm-hmm.
Or was she just playing a amalgam of all kind of people?
Well, I
didn't like the movie, and therefore I didn't like the performances. I did think Mark Ruffalo was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But Emma Stone is, it's like, no, people hated that movie. Some loved it. I'm not saying that, but the people who disliked it.
Yeah. I almost chose Emma Stone over Lily Gladstone. That took me a while. The more I think about that performance, the more I really do like it.
You think Emma Stone's performance was that good?
Mm-hmm. I thought she had to play, basically, a child.
A woman with a baby brain.
She had to play a woman with a baby brain. And just how she evolves over the story, I think she clearly defines each of those evolutions of her character very well. And I really enjoyed it.
One thing going against Emma Stone, most of the Academy members are old like me, and they're not going to watch Poor Things. They're going to start that and say,
I don't know. I think it could win a lot. I think it could win costume design. I think it has a chance at production design. I'm just saying. Oh. I think you're going to see a lot of Poor Thing wins. Unless Oppenheimer just shuts everything out, and then that's kind of boring. But
wow, Barbie's dominant.
That's what Barbie. It's between Barbie and Poor Things for costume design and production design, in my opinion. Unless Oppenheimer just sweeps them both, because that would be boring. But it could. I mean, that's what happened last year with Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, it was like it started and it just got momentum and kept going. All right, Emma Stone for the win. Lily Gladstone for the wish she could win.
Yes. For the win.
Okay. All right. Maybe now. Actor in a supporting role.
Okay.
Sterling K. Brown for American Fiction. Robert De Niro for Killers of the Flower Moon. Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer. Ryan Gosling for Barbie. And Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things. And I would love to see Robert Downey Jr. take it, and I think he will.
I got the same thing.
Same thing.
That one's like a no-brainer, though.
Where's Amber?
Has he lost an award for Best Supporting Actor yet? I feel like I don't think he's lost anybody yet.
But I saw that movie. When I saw Oppenheimer, he and Emily Blunt stood out to me. Of course, Cillian Murphy did too, but. And also, Matt Damon was good in that movie.
He really is. And he's underrated in that movie.
I'm surprised he's not nominated. But I will say Mark Ruffalo was, to me, one of the best things about Poor Things.
Oh, yeah. His performance is really good. It's hilarious. That's what's great.
It's just bizarre. It's like he's in a whole different movie. Just doing this thing, dancing away. But that wasn't enough to make me like the movie. But okay, so we're in agreement. Robert Downey Jr., we want him to win, and he's gonna win.
And the first time
he was nominated for Chaplin. Did he win?
I think he won. I think he's already. I think he won. I thought he had already.
One too. One also.
Yeah.
And Emma Stone has won.
Emma Stone has won.
So
she won that for La La Land.
La La Land. Yeah. Do you remember that movie that she was cast in as a Hawaiian? It was a few movies before La La Land, and she was the press they said, how dare redheaded her portray somebody of Hawaiian descent. The movie took place, and I think she said, actually I do have some Hawaiian.
No, well.
All right. Actress in a supporting role.
Mm-hmm.
Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer. Danielle Brooks, The Color Purple. America Ferrera, Barbie. Jodie Foster in Naiad.
Mm-hmm.
Divine or Devine?
Divine.
I heard somebody the other night pronounce it Devine. I thought, have I been saying that wrong? Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. Now, on who I wish it could be, I am really torn between Emily Blunt and Devine Joy Randolph because they both gave performances that really touched me. But I would say I am going to be really happy if Devine Joy Randolph wins, and I think she is.
Yeah. That one, the supporting actress and actor, it's basically just been them two the whole time.
It was like from the moment that movie came out, they said she's getting awards.
Mm-hmm.
And it is that kind of role. It's, she's the head of the kitchen, the dining hall, and she's a mother figure to the students, and she's a good friend to Paul Giamatti's character. It's a beautiful performance.
Mm-hmm.
But Emily Blunt as Oppenheimer's wife, she made such an impact to me in very few scenes, because she and Florence Pugh kind of share the female impact of the film. But I just think Divine J. Randolph, it was her role at the right time in the right movie.
That it was. Well, she hadn't been in many things, had
No.
she? Like, this is like one of her first
And a
major
lot
roles.
of them have been comedic roles, I think.
Oh, okay.
She was in an Eddie Murphy film. But anyway, but this she hit home. Every scene she was in, I enjoyed.
She's great.
All right, director.
Okay.
Anatomy of a Fall. Justine Triet.
Mm-hmm.
Killers. Oh, that was one thing. I'm going to come back to this. I was surprised on supporting actor that Robert De Niro, who is nominated, has gotten no love.
Yeah, I think it's just because his character didn't really add much to the story. It kind of, I don't know, it just kind of felt like
he was the villain of the story.
But it felt like there wasn't enough for him to do, to shine and show people, like, hey, this is a part that I deserve an award for, you know? It didn't.
Is that the same reason Leonardo DiCaprio didn't get nominated for Best Actor?
I think it has something to do with that, yeah. But I think he should have, but...
You think he's what?
I think he should have been nominated.
I do too.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like the backhead to Leonardo. No, that wasn't that good.
They'll respect him one day. One day they'll respect him.
Well, he's won before.
Once, after being nominated 6 times, that was a pity. That was a pity award. They like to get the people to quiet. I'm saying
and it wasn't one of his best performances.
It really wasn't.
Titanic was fantastic. Was it The Departed? Tremendous.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street.
These are all movies he should have won for, and just
see you around, Leo.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go back. For our Best Director, Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall. Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon. Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer. Oh, here we go. Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things. And Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest. Now, who do you want to win?
I want Christopher Nolan to win. And I think Christopher Nolan is going to win.
I do too.
Yeah.
That's just a slam dunk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The person I can't understand why he's there is Jonathan Glazer for Zone of Interest. I like the movie, but I didn't see any strong direction to that film.
I think it's unique in its style. It's very unique in the way it portrays the story being told, and I think they were trying to recognize it for the way it tells this story. Just kind of like the camera never moves. It's always just like it's just peering into these people's lives.
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
the camera doesn't move.
The camera never moves. It always just cuts to a different camera angle. It never like turns Sometimes it'll walk with the family, like when they're in the yard.
Yeah.
But the camera itself will never like turn left to right. It'll always
Look at you.
it'll
You
cut
have
to a different
earned your
camera.
place on this sofa.
All right. It's almost like it would be like if you put security cameras all throughout your house, and it would just cut to the next security camera based on where you were in the scene. That's really what it felt like. That's why I was kind of gripped by it. It was like I was a fly on the wall in this family.
Yeah, somebody told me that they watched 1917.
Oh, I watched that recently.
Andren, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Lauren and Andren, Andren, he said, I watched 1917 this week. And every time you think about 1917, you think about that long shot.
Mm-hmm.
That supposedly the whole movie is one long shot, which it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But the camera angle, who was the guy who did the circular? He was famous for the circular shots. He did The Untouchables with Sean Connery and Brian
Brian De Palma.
De Palma.
There we go.
But he always had that circular shot where he would.
Okay, I haven't watched many Brian De Palma movies.
He's good.
I've seen Mission Impossible.
But he hasn't done much lately. I don't even know if, I guess he's still alive, but I haven't seen anything from him.
I have no clue, honestly. He might have retired.
Okay, so we both think it's going to be Christopher Nolan all the way.
Yeah, if there's any movie that he's recognized for at the Oscars, it's going to be this one.
Was it you telling me, somebody told me that the movie that came out during COVID that he did about the beach ship.
The Tenet?
Tenant. Yeah, because it was Tenant.
It was backwards, yeah. It's the same way backwards as it is forwards.
Yeah. But they said that he wanted that to be re-released.
They're doing it. It's
Are they gonna do
re-releasing. I don't know if it's re-releasing where we are, but I've seen it. I saw it recently, before Oppenheimer. I kind of watched all of his movies again. I do not like that movie.
I did.
I don't. Maybe it's just because of the setting that I was in. I kind of just watched it in the afternoon. But
and that also has a lot to do with the appreciation of a movie. It can be where you are and where you are in your mind at the time, the whole thing.
That's why I try to watch every movie at a movie theater, because it sort of clears your mind.
It kind of contains you.
Yeah.
We're so good. Wow. Okay, we're coming back to Best Picture.
Yeah.
Big surprise coming up here. All right. Best Picture. American Fiction. Anatomy of a Fall. Barbie. The Holdovers. Killers of the Flower Moon. Maestro. Oppenheimer. Past Lives. Poor Things. And The Zone of Interest. I do want to say that of these movies, the one that has grown on me the most is Past Lives.
Love it. I was thinking about this morning. I might watch it tonight.
That movie just gets better and better as you reflect back on it. And then if you watch it and see, there are certain scenes that are just so perfectly
calculated.
Yes.
Yeah, detailed. Like they just knew everything they wanted to do with it. It's
yes, whoever that.
Oh, it's that's the producers. It's
Because it's Christine.
It's
not Christine Young. Or what?
Greta Lee's the actress. It's
Greta Lee's the actress.
Celine Song.
Celine Song. Christine Young.
You were close. I mean,
close.
that's pretty good.
That was enough to nudge you into.
Yeah.
Celine Song.
I just needed the rhyming, and I figured it out.
You know, I never study film like you're studying it, but there is so much that goes into getting a movie done because it's only as strong as its weakest element. Isn't that profound?
Philosopher Jackie.
Wow. Mark that down. I think somebody else said it. So but it is. It's just all of that, you know, when you see how it comes together. And you read sometimes about, when they first started making this, so-and-so had the main role. But then something happened and he had to drop out and they went with it. And you think, but that was the perfect choice.
when you know, the more you know about a movie that's good, that you really like, the better it gets. Like, even when you just learn about, like who it could have been. I mean, just knowing, like, even, like, just tiny little details about what happens on behind the scenes, it just makes a movie better when you know it. I don't know.
But, it's like, and this year is a perfect example, but, Martin Scorsese has such a connection with Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro. I mean, they have made movies after movies after movies. Mm-hmm. Emma Stone, this guy, Yorgos Lanthimos or whatever, she's done other movies with him.
I heard she's going to be in his next movie, too.
Yeah, a third one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny how their careers get latched together. And then Christopher Nolan, he knew, he used Cillian Murphy in Batman, and then, cast him in Oppenheimer. But they get linked.
Yep.
And it's a partnership, and they, Okay, I must say, I want Holdovers. Holdovers was my favorite movie of the year. I loved it, loved it, loved it. And I wish it would win. I don't think it stands a chance. I think Oppenheimer's good. Wouldn't it be something if Barbie won?
If Barbie won?
Wouldn't that be just wild?
That would be the shock of the night.
Can't you see it? They say, and the award goes to Oppenheimer. And then someone comes and says, no, you read the wrong card. It's Barbie.
And then Christopher Nolan and all of them have to walk off stage
and smile and say, oh, that's good.
Do you think Margot Robbie is going to be there? She will be because she's a producer of the movie, but would she have gone if she wasn't a producer?
I think she would have. I think she and Greta Lee both probably would have gone.
That was like how Tom Cruise, when he didn't get nominated last year for Top Gun Maverick, he just didn't even show up. Or even James Cameron. His movie was nominated for Best Picture, and he didn't show up because he didn't get a Best Directing nomination.
Now, how do you know that?
I just know these
Somebody
things.
inside James Cameron's house said, James not going, he didn't get nominated.
Well, I mean, you just kind of assume that's the reason why, is because...
I don't know, I just see that Greta Gerwig, who directed Barbie, and Margot Robbie, who starred in Robbie and was one of the producers on Robbie and helped get the whole project together going. To me, they're just a little bit above that. They're just happy in their art.
Yeah.
I really do. And, if somebody wants to nominate them for an award,
they're not here for the awards. They're here just to...
And I think Margot Robbie's probably said, good for Ryan Gosling, and good for America Ferrera.
She made a lot of money off of Barbie, so... An Oscar doesn't really matter to her.
I don't think so either. I think probably if she was in a really dramatic role... what was it? Was it Babylon she was in?
Oof. Babylon. I'm part of the Babylon Hive.
Yeah, you're...
The Babylon Hive. We're coming.
Where are you going?
We're going.
Where are you going?
To spread the word to the people.
I hate to tell you, I think they said, all aboard on the Babylon train.
And it was full in 5 seconds.
It was nobody there, and they pulled out of the station.
You just don't get it.
I didn't. That movie did not do it for me at all. It was chaotic. Oh, it's just chaotic.
That's what's so good about it.
All right, those are our predictions.
Yeah.
But do you think overall it's going to be an Oppenheimer sweep all through the awards?
I mean, while I would love Maestro to win all the awards.
I know you would.
And Nyad to get Best Actress.
Best Actress.
She really was good. I liked the movie. I really did. I think I need to say that.
Can stop in the middle of a movie and not go back for a month does not love the movie.
It just wasn't a movie I was absolutely craving to watch. But I watched it last night. I finished it.
Did you start at the beginning, or did you just get her in mid-ocean?
I started halfway through. I knew what happened. I was like, okay. I stopped right around the jellyfish part.
Oh.
If you know what I'm talking about. So
yes.
Yeah.
She was struggling to get through the ocean on her second attempt at swimming. Yeah. Can you imagine swimming from Cuba to Florida in the open ocean?
I can't barely swim from one side of the pool to the other, so...
I dog paddle. I can stay afloat. That's it. All right, now, how do you watch the Oscars?
I'll probably just sit in my room and watch it.
You don't have friends come over and Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It depends on if they care enough. I mean, I have people that probably would care, but
Yeah, it's funny because I have very few people that I would want to come over and watch the Oscars.
that's what I'm saying. It's like you don't want the people that kind of care to come over because then
Or
they're kind of not going to be paying
if
attention.
If are going to say, wait a minute, what was that movie?
Mm-hmm.
No. On Oscar night, my wife fixes steaks.
Okay.
The whole meal, steak, baked potato, broccoli, and we sit in front of the TV. We have a little table we put there. We watch it very quietly.
Do you place bets? Do you guys bet?
Absolutely, no, we don't bet. But absorb it all. Maybe holler if something goes wrong. But it is my Super Bowl night.
Yeah. It's mine too.
And one time when we lived in California, the church we went to, the preacher was a movie fan. And he said, "Oh, I would love to watch the Oscars with you." What do you say? And they're like, "Oh yeah, y'all need to come over to the house."
I mean, he's the pastor. You can't, you can't be mean to him.
No, you can't say no. Don't want you there because you preach and you talk a lot. And I remember thinking, they shouldn't be here. I just want to concentrate.
How did you absorb the Will Smith slap a couple years ago? How was that like?
I honestly, I don't remember if it was Jada Pinkett Smith or whatever her name is, who said, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke. I really did.
I remember, I wasn't watching it that year, but I remember like going.
You weren't watching it that year?
I haven't. The only one I've really sat down and watched was last year's, and I'm watching this year's. But I didn't even watch any of the movies that year. I wasn't into the Oscar race that much. Like I wasn't focused.
When did the transformation come?
Last year.
What caused it?
I don't know. Something clicked, and I was like, "This
you're
is what I'm doing."
Going
for the
to
rest of my
college,
life.
studying film, and you're saying, "Oh yeah, only a year ago did I really become interested."
Well, I haven't been in college for more than a year.
You still
listen. I've always been into it, but I've never just sat down and watched it because I just hadn't watched all the movies. I wasn't at that age where I cared enough to sit down and watch all the movies. Now, even if I'm not interested, I'm like, I need to watch this because I need to know.
Because you have seen.
I've seen all of them now.
Everything.
This is the first
list.
year I've watched every single movie.
Every single movie. Because the last one was what? Zone of Interest?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, that was with me too. But, gosh, I can't remember. I go so far back watching. That was just a big thing. Even when I was in high school, I was like, the Oscars coming up. I got to see them.
I watch it now.
That counts.
I'm going to sit down now. I'm going to sit down and take notes.
And now you're on YouTube.
Yeah. Now I'm
stating your predictions.
Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought?
Gosh. But I love a surprise.
Me too. That's why I'm kind of rooting for Paul Giamatti, honestly.
Would
that would be the big surprise
That
of
would
the
be
night.
the big surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And he would be so good in his Oscar speech.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there are surprises.
There are.
There are people that you think they're going to win. Everything leading up to this has said they're going to win.
I'm trying to think if there's one recently. I don't know.
A few years ago, I remember Glenn Close was up for Best Actress, and she'd been nominated 50 trillion times before, and they said, this is her year. This is her year. She won all these different awards. And the camera was just focused on her. And she didn't get it.
Who got it?
I don't remember. I just remember Glenn Smith's face kind of went from a kind of trying to smile and not too happy.
What do you think should have won last year? Do you think Everything Everywhere?
I was not in Everything.
I figured you weren't.
I wasn't.
You don't like chaotic.
I don't like chaos.
I get that, yeah.
I like Michelle Yeoh. And I sure like Jamie Lee Curtis, but I did not think Jamie Lee Curtis deserved the award for that. And what was the competition last year?
It was it was Tar.
Yeah.
I liked Tar.
Kate Blanchett.
But
Banshees.
Banshees. I know you're the biggest Banshees fan ever.
Gosh. That's my poor things for this year.
That's your poor things? Okay.
There's always one. There's always one that comes along that everybody says, best movie of the year, best movie. And I'm thinking, one of the worst things I've seen.
Whatever. You just don't get it.
I didn't get Banshees. No.
I'm trying to think.
Cutting off fingers. Nope. Didn't get that. Not the comedy. I didn't laugh one time.
I liked it. I thought it was hilarious when he was cutting his fingers off.
See, there is some little sick element of the population out there that loves that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Poor Things is like that. There are things in Poor Things I think, oh my gosh, that's horrible. And people are going,
and I think it's hilarious.
See? All right, you got it on record. What we predicted. Walker, thanks for giving your opinion.
Thank you for letting me.
I know, isn't it fun? But this has been Tell All Tuesday, and I'm Jackie K. Cooper here with
Walker the intern.